Hello? Oh, hi, darling.
Half a world away, another day. So let's go play on the moon. It's a starry place. We embrace the space while we're miles away on the moon.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of On the Other Line. I am your host, Kelly Keegs. We are recording this episode in advance because it's Easter. Happy Easter. What's going on? I hope you're dying eggs, eating chocolate, whole thing. If not, I hope you're, I don't know, having a good time with your family, or maybe at brunch with some mimosas. All the fun springtime lunch things that you can do can always be done on Easter. So I hope you're having a good time. Today's episode is going to be about neighbors. Gia, what's going on in the booth over there? How you doing?
Not much is going on. We got me, Stanko, and Madeline. We're just chilling over here.
Fabulous, fabulous. I'm trying to, I'm a little loud in my own ear, if we're being honest here. Damn, let's see. That's better. Okay, I think it's me. I'm gonna hold this in my lap. So if you can see my mic thing, it's because I want to be able to hear everybody. So we're talking about neighbors today. We're gonna be setting the mood, talking about them shortly. But I want to first talk about a couple of things that have happened today in pop culture. I know that this is now a week old, and so now you're kind of like, whoa, what the fuck? But Britney Spears is pregnant, so it must be addressed. Gia, what did you think when you saw this post by Britney?
I don't even want to say.
What is happening? So Britney Spears posted on Instagram that she got back from Hawaii. She felt like she was having a food baby, whole thing, as all of us feel. We know how that feels. And she took a pregnancy test, and turns out she's pregnant. She's talking about how she, oh my God, if it's 2, I won't even be able to believe it. Like, I don't know. But
That is my worst nightmare, to be like, oh, I think I ate a lot. And then you go to the doctor, and they're like,
I mean, it's
no,
crazy.
you're
Well,
pregnant.
it's like that same shit we were just talking about
Yes,
that
the Cancun
last
baby.
week. The you don't know you're pregnant shit, which is
Yes.
crazy. But I guess this is how it starts. This is how it can happen. And so Britney Spears may or may not looking like she is pregnant. And of course, she's with her fiance Sam, who she keeps referring to him as her husband. So they might have just tied the knot and said like, "Fuck you guys," which I kind of hope that they did, because I love new Britney, where she gets to just do whatever the fuck she wants. I love her out of her conservatorship. I feel great for her. Part of that conservatorship was having her keep in an IUD so she couldn't get pregnant, which seems fucking crazy also. But now she's got that IUD out. She's engaged / married, and she's gonna pop out another kid. So congratulations to her on that. But we all know that with budding love comes heartbreak as well sometimes. Billy Ray Cyrus and Trish Cyrus are getting divorced. I
broke my
am
heart.
shocked by this news.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely shocked by this news.
I loved them. They really
Same.
seem like, I mean, you never know, because famous people behind closed doors, God knows what goes on, but they
Yeah.
really seem like they love each other. 30 years is such a long time.
It's so fucking long. It's so long, and also they just have always seemed like a really secure family unit. Like, it seems like the Cyruses are able to be who they are and do what they are and have the confidence to be and do what they want, because their parents have like been such strong support systems for them for so long. And I guess like just because they're getting divorced doesn't mean they're not going to be a support system for them. But damn, I don't know. I just like, that's crazy. I don't know what I would do if. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to like put out in the universe. Like, my parents have been married a long time. I just feel like that's a crazy disruption. But you never know what goes on behind closed doors. And I guess whatever. Best of luck to the both of them. Also today we have Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson in the news again, because Kim finally has posted photos of the two of them on her own Instagram, snuggled up, like being lovey-dovey, whatever. She posted a sort of a photo of them, right? Was that on her Instagram? The one of them like on the ground in the closet or whatever? That was on Kim's, right? Or was that like...
Yeah, she posted it on Twitter. That was like their first picture together.
Right, but that was only on Twitter, right? Or was it on Instagram too? Because this one's like IG, Twitter, everywhere.
I think that one was on Instagram.
It might have been. It probably would have been. But anyway, this one is equally cute. I like it a lot because they were out after the Hulu premiere party for the new Kardashians show, which at this point, which will have premiered by now. Oh my God, I can't wait. I think it premieres in on the 14th, I think, and this will be airing after that. So, oh my God, look forward
I
to
know.
our
I'm
thoughts
curious
on
to
it.
see how their relationship is going to be. Like,
Me too, right?
how much they're going to show it on the show.
100%. I'm so curious.
Yeah.
So Pete was at the premiere with them all, being a supportive boyfriend. He didn't take any like red carpet photos with them. Kim was saying how like, I'm just glad Pete is here to be supportive and whatever. Like the red carpet stuff isn't really his thing, but I'm happy that he's here, which I think is a really like good way for them to keep up this relationship. Like, let Kim do the glitz and the glamour. Like, she is all about that shit. She loves the red carpet. She loves dressing up. She loves all this stuff, loves giving interviews, whatever. Pete's not really that kind of guy, but he's happy to show up to somewhere to support his girl. So that's exactly what he's doing. I think we should just let them live their life this way. They went out to dinner afterwards with all their couple friends and siblings alike and ordered a bunch of food and just took these lovey-dovey photos. So I'm happy about that. Very happy about it. What do you think about that, Gia? Do you think that this is sweet?
love them.
Do you want more photos
like,
from them?
I think people, the public, generally really like them together.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think so too. I think
I'm a supporter.
Yeah, as am I. I think that
Keat.
They've never really rubbed me the wrong way. I've always thought that they were pretty great. So, you know, what are you going to do? But all right, enough about them, enough about all of that. Now it is time to set the mood. All right. And what we're going to do today is, because we're doing this in advance, because we didn't have a lot of time to put out the graphic for voicemails to give opportunity to people to leave voicemails, I instead asked people to DM me their neighbor stories, which I'm glad that I did that because I got, I don't know, 15 really good stories that I'm about to read. I mean, I got like 100 stories, but a lot of them become repetitive. Everybody has neighbors that like scream at each other all day long and whatever. So the majority of those I left out, but there's a lot of weird shit in here. And I think I just want to kind of read some and our thoughts. We're still going to have our live callers after we hit a break in a couple of minutes, but I want to get into a couple of these DMs after we establish what neighbors can be to you, I guess, is something that I was thinking of. Gia, do you have shitty neighbors?
So
What's your neighbor life like?
In my apartment, it's like just people above or below me.
Mm-hmm.
I've never really interacted with the people above me, but the person below me is the GOAT. So
Really?
yeah,
That's great.
He's the nicest guy ever.
That's lucky too, to have someone below you that doesn't hate you, because it's
Right.
hard. Yeah.
So in August, I went to a Louis the Child concert at the Brooklyn Mirage with like 15 of my friends.
Of course, sounds like a great time.
And it was at like 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and we all said, oh, let's go back to Gia's for like a little after party and hang. We all get into the elevator. There's like 14 of us in the elevator. And we get stuck in the elevator.
Oh.
And the firefighters had to come, and it was this whole thing. We were in there for like 45 minutes. But basically, where the elevator was stuck in between 2 floors.
Uh-huh.
So they had to break my neighbor's door, the guy who lives below me, in order to open the door and get us like through to his floor.
Oh my God.
I thought that he was gonna hate us. I was like, oh, this is gonna ruin our relationship, because I've met him a couple times. He was such a nice guy.
Yeah, yeah.
We had to go through his apartment. I don't think he was there, but basically we had to go through his apartment to get out. And there's a whole lock system, and the door is like to keep out fires.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
he basically needed us to fix the door as soon as possible. But when I saw him in person, he basically was just like, when I heard the story, it was the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh
like,
my
I just kind of
God.
want my door fixed, but I totally get it. Like, I love to party, and I've had so many parties in my apartment. Like, keep doing you. I thought he was about to bitch me out.
Holy shit.
And he was just like, I thought it was so funny.
That is so lucky, honestly. Like
I know.
that is a best case scenario. And I remember that story. I remember that happening to you guys, but I didn't know that there were like all these other stipulations. I thought you guys were just like stuck in the elevator and eventually got out. I did not know that you had to like rip apart somebody's house
No,
to do that.
I mean,
Holy
honestly,
fuck.
I didn't even really know either until my parents got the bill.
Holy fuck.
And I was like,
But
wait,
but it was like, wasn't, how was it your guys' fault? Was like too many people in the elevator?
too many
like,
people in the elevator.
Damn.
My famous last words, like my 2 friends were like, oh, should we come in? Like, there might be too many people. And I was like, oh, no, it's fine. Like, it doesn't really matter.
I
10
mean, what?
seconds later, we just hear douche.
Oh
And we're
my
like,
God.
oh no, this is about to be so bad.
How long were you in there? That's honestly that's a big fear of mine, being stuck.
We
Not
were
that I'm
in there for,
claustrophobic,
like,
but I think I would
45
be in that
minutes.
situation. 45 minutes?
Yes, and it
Holy
was
fuck.
dead August. It was so
No.
hot.
Oh my God.
My guy friends were like literally dripping on top of me. It was disgusting.
No, I would not be okay. 45 minutes, that's insane. And also, this is post-concert, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so you're like gross and drunk
we
and
were
like.
I was in a bathing suit top and a skirt. And the firefighters came and they just were judging us so hard.
Oh my
Like,
God.
It was just so bad.
Oh my God. Well, that is a perfect example of a good neighbor.
A good neighbor,
a
yeah.
good neighbor to have, because they are so hard to come by. I don't know if I've ever had any neighbors that I really liked. I don't think I have. And I'm trying to think. I'm nervous to say that because I know like some neighbor I had is gonna come out of the woodwork and be like, oh, what the fuck? I thought I was a good neighbor. But no, I pretty much keep to myself. Like I don't, I'm very nervous to disturb my neighbors because I don't want to have to interact with them. So I, in my own house, am always like tiptoeing around. Like I'm afraid to be stomping. I'm afraid to be like too loud. Sometimes on like a Friday night or a Saturday night, I'll turn my music up a little louder. Because I act this way, because there are occasions where I will just openly smoke weed in my apartment and I know that it makes the whole building smell and I don't give a fuck. And I'm like, whatever, that's fine. Not all the time, but sometimes I do that. And other times I will have friends over my house, which is pretty rare. But when they're over my house, we're all super fucked up because we were just probably in the area closest to my house. I live near a lot of the like spots we go out, and I blast my music so loud that like I would, if I were above or below me, I would call the police on me. Like that's how much of a shitty neighbor I can be. But I use my opportunities to be that neighbor, and every other time I'm like quiet as a church mouse. Like I feel like it's a good balance. My upstairs neighbors though have never once tried to be quiet in their entire lives. I swear to God. And I kept thinking that it was like, oh, I'm being dramatic. They're just walking around, whatever. They're brand new. Maybe they're moving in. Well, they've been moving in for like 6 fucking months. And at this point, I'm like, are you just moving furniture for fun? Like, they must be moving furniture every single day at 5 a.m. to like work out or something. Like, I don't know what the fuck they're doing up there, but it's so annoying. And it wakes me up at all hours. Like there is no rhyme or reason to their schedule. Like I try to kind of be like, oh, make sure I'm asleep early in the morning so I don't get woken up by the moving coffee table, whatever the fuck they're doing up there. Or don't be awake at 3 a.m. because they're all gonna stomp up the stairs and do whatever the fuck they're doing. One time, the neighbors, I know it was the people up there because I heard them like key into the apartment above me afterwards, but they stopped on the stairwell that's like kind of outside of my apartment, it's right next to my door sort of, so I can hear people going up the stairs if I'm close to my front door. And they stopped there, were whispering and just heavy petting, just make out sounds through the door. And I was like, and I'm sitting in my house, like popcorn, like shove it down my throat as fast as I can, smoking so much weed, just being like, what the fuck is going on out there? It was like a Sunday night. Oh my God, they were very annoying. Like
it's
they
always
were just
the upstairs neighbor. Like why?
Wait, say
is
it again.
That?
Say that again.
It's always the upstairs neighbor.
Right, it's always upstairs neighbor, which is why I am constantly trying to be so quiet in my apartment. I'm like, because the people who live below me, it used to be an old lady. Now I think it's like a girl my age because I hear her playing Taylor Swift a lot. Like she plays Taylor Swift a lot, and she plays like songs that to the point where I think that she's playing one of my playlists. Like,
Maybe you should like form a bond with her over Taylor Swift, and then go hang out with her, and then one night be like, what do you do every night?
Yeah, like what's
that disrupts my sleep?
Exactly, like what's your deal downstairs? Like it's bizarre. But the downstairs girl, she's not as annoying as the upstairs. The upstairs people are the worst. But
oh, she's downstairs.
Yeah, she's below me. Okay. But so her music rises every once in a while. But I'm not bothered. I'm not so bothered. But again, because it's Taylor Swift. But how would you even go about doing that? Like I don't even know how to go about meeting a neighbor. Like unless they approach me. Like I'm such a.
Maybe if you see them in like the stairway or something.
Mm-hmm.
But my building's really small, so it's nice because like every person that lives in there is like a familiar face.
That's true. And also your building is like, I feel like yours is not like full of assholes. You have like a good building, like of like real people doing real things. You know what I mean? Like I have a feeling my building is full of assholes. Like I think I might be the like most adult one in the building, which is tough because not that adult.
Oh no, I was gonna ask what area you live in, but I probably should not.
Oh yeah, no. I talk about it all the time. I live in Chelsea, like the Chelsea area, so I know.
Okay, right. We live kind of close to each other.
Yeah. We're similar areas, but yeah, my building is definitely older, and it's definitely full of like younger kids now at this point, I think. Post-pandemic. Before the pandemic, it was full of a bunch of like little old biddies. I was seeing a lot of like really old dogs all the time coming up and down the stairs. They were sweet. It was nice, you know, whatever. After the pandemic, a lot of them moved out, and now I've got a bunch of like bros. At one point, oh my fucking God, I'm just remembering this. I think it was the people below me, the same girl that I'm saying nice things about with Taylor Swift. I heard like on a Saturday morning, definitely pre-gaming to like go out during the day or brunch or something. They just kept having people come over, and you can hear through the floor the like buzzer, because the buzzers are so loud. So they were just like buzzing people up forever. And then as they were all leaving, you could hear like the door open downstairs, and I could hear it through echoing through the stairwell. And it was some guy going, ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll, like Stu Finer. And I was like, oh no, I have to hide my face, because if they know Stu Finer so much that they're screaming ready to roll, I can't do it. I can't do it. So I'll be panicked about that. All right, let us hit a break really quick, and then we will take some live calls. I'm sure people calling live will understand my frustrations when I hear ready to roll. Waiting on that, I would like to read a couple of stories from these DMs, because that's all I've been thinking about. Some of these stories are insane. Gia, we're getting real casual today. I'm trying to be casual and cool.
I'm down for the casual
on this
vibe.
episode. You know what I mean? Like usually I'm hot. I'm very structured. I'm trying to loosen up a little bit. I'm trying to loosen up. You know? All right. Let's see. Let's go to, want to hear about some crazy domestic abuse going on in an apartment? That's what's going on here. This person says, my neighbors down the hall, when I was in college living in an apartment, had some crazy domestic abuse going on, and we called the cops at least 10 times about them. And then it got extreme when the guy carved "You're dead" into the door of their apartment after he was kicked out. Well, that's horrifying.
Jesus.
That's terrifying. Like, and I know that, I'm tongue-in-cheek laughing a little bit, like, oh damn, all this like domestic abuse. It's obviously not funny at all. But that is a huge thing that comes with neighbors, that you hear all their shit. You hear when they're arguing with each other. You hear when they're like at their worst. It's like hard to keep yourself out of that, especially when someone's so fucking crazy that they're carving "You're dead" into the door. Like, honestly, what the fuck? I don't really even know what to say about that. All right, let's see. This one says, I'm gonna make sure it's the one I want to tell. All right, here it is. Okay, so we had a crazy lady move in to us to flip this shitty house. While doing it, she got in a fight with the neighbor behind us about a fence, which way it was and how it didn't look good, and how she paid him and then didn't pay them the whole amount. The cops were involved multiple times. It's the 4th of July weekend, and I'm setting off fireworks in the backyard, and it's great. She comes over the next day with firework wrappers in a Ziploc bag. They are mine. She said the neighbor was shooting them at her house to try and burn it down, so she's giving these to the FBI, the firework shell casings, I guess, to fingerprint them so she can prove it. I was like, yeah, that's a really good idea. I can't believe he would do that. Okay. There's a little bit to unpack here. I'm not quite sure if this lady, oh, there it is on the screen. Do we think that this lady, like, this guy stole these fireworks from wherever the fuck and then shot them at our house actually? Or do you think that this lady accidentally got fireworks in her house because this person was setting off their fireworks, and now she's blaming the neighbor, and now the FBI is allegedly involved? What do we think about that?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm confused about this.
I am too.
Because maybe she was just annoyed by the fact that there were fireworks. Like, I feel
right? Like it sounds like maybe a crotchety old lady. Yeah.
Yeah, like that would be really bad.
Right, that's like a legit problem. Like, call the cops for sure.
Yeah, like she wouldn't be the crazy one here.
No, 100% not.
Yeah, the girl
maybe
doing
this
the
lady's
fireworks
fine.
are. Yeah.
Yes. Exactly, yes. I wonder if these people like stole the fireworks and shot them in her house, or if they just landed there. Who knows? All right, let's see. This one is, how about my neighbor in my building who turned an apartment on the penthouse floor into an actual after-hours club in downtown Detroit? That is fucking awesome. I always am thinking about that when it comes to people with huge apartments like that, like where they have like a whole floor to themselves or something. I feel like in movies specifically, they always show them having huge parties and all this shit going on and whatever, but why can't you like host a little club in your own house? Like charge people at the door? Like, you know, what the hell is going on? I think that would be, you know, why not? We have our caller screen. We have Devin from Baltimore calling in. What is up, Devin? You want to talk about neighbors?
Oh my God! Hi.
Hey.
So exciting.
What's going on? Thanks for calling. I know it's a funny time, not our usual time. So thanks for calling.
Of course. So I've been noticing my neighbor is just like taking my packages.
Oh, motherfucker.
Like,
I'm sorry.
I know.
That is the worst. I think,
So,
tell your story and then I'll tell you my,
it's okay.
I understand.
So no, it's so annoying. So I live in the city, like in a townhome, and I don't have like a little box. I just have a slot.
Okay.
It's Baltimore, so
yeah. No, not bad. No, townhomes are beautiful. One of my besties used to have a townhome there. Gorgeous. Anyway, keep going.
So he, I guess, like notices if I don't open the door in, I don't know, 30 seconds after the package gets delivered, he just like takes it. And I know he's doing it to be nice and like to not get it stolen. But when I go out there, it's not there and I think it's stolen.
Ugh.
And he doesn't tell me. He doesn't tell anyone, any of our neighbors. He just like takes them. And like doesn't even try to like knock on the, no, it's so weird. So I had to like knock on the door and be like, hello? I'm a 23-year-old little girl. Like, please give me all my packages that I think are stolen.
Who,
and
like, what's
crazy.
this man, describe this man. Like, what does he look like? How old is he?
He said he's lived here for like 35 years. So I would say he's older.
So he's like an older.
Even older than like,
okay.
Yeah. So I genuinely think he's like doing it out of the goodness of his heart. But I'm like, dude, just like knock on my door again. Like I work from home and you see my car.
I know,
like,
that's
just
crazy.
Knock on my door. What's yours?
This sounds like, well, your situation sounds very much like this guy's lived there forever. He thinks he knows the neighborhood better. He's trying to be like, oh, these kids, they can't be leaving their packages out, whatever, blah, blah. And I get that. That's fine, whatever. But like you said, you're clearly home. Your car is there. Try knocking on the door, maybe leave a note, something. Not everybody wants to have to talk to their neighbors to get their fucking packages. Like sometimes you'd rather your package be stolen for real than like have to talk to your fucking neighbors. Like that's too much. It's so annoying. It's just one of those things where it's like you feel like a dick if you complain about it because they're being nice, but it's like, what the fuck? No, that's so annoying.
Exactly.
I, right now, am dealing with something. I don't even know if what I think I'm dealing with is correct, but I think someone in my building is stealing my packages, for real. I think that they're just stealing them straight up. Like, I don't get them back. Like, they're not coming back to me. They're gone. And this has happened to me. Isn't that insane? This has happened to me periodically for, I don't know, probably since about the middle of the pandemic, I would say, when we were all in the same spot. And I thought,
oh my God.
I know. I thought that that people were coming in from the outside, like they were waiting for the door to be open and just coming in and taking a bunch of packages or something like that. Yeah. So I started complaining to my landlord at the time. I was like, listen, somebody's taking my fucking packages. Like, I don't know who it is or what's going on. Can you check the videotapes? Can you check something? Can we put up notes, like not to let in strangers, like whatever. And so he did all that. He checked. He said that he was like, oh, well, if I get the camera footage, then, you know, I can give it to you to take to the police and you'll file a police report. I'm not going to file a fucking police report on like a box of soap from Amazon. You know what I mean? But it's like, I want that soap though. I want that nice shampoo I just paid $74 for, the fucking shampoo conditioner combined. Like, I still need that. How annoying, right?
I remember you posted this on Twitter or Instagram, and I was just like, I get it.
It's like a never-ending battle. It's so insane. So anyway, so I'm going on, whatever. I'm going back and forth with my landlord. Finally, he puts up signs everywhere in the bottom of our building being like, don't let in strangers. Like, make sure you're taking your own packages. Like, if you see packages out in the open, move them to the side. Like, kind of instructing people to kind of have each other's backs. Like, don't let these packages get stolen. Then my shit still kept getting stolen. And I was talking to him about it, and he was like, I'll be honest with you, you're the only one that's like had these complaints. I was like, someone is fucking taking my shit. And now I have eyes on my whole fucking building. Every little Joe Blow that walks in acting like, oh, hi, give me nice eyes, give me smile, whatever. I don't trust any of you in this building. I don't trust any people in this place. And I'm with you, Devin. I just don't. I can't have my neighbors touching my stuff. Don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my stuff.
Just get off my stuff.
Get off my stuff. Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Literally.
Oh my God. Well, thank you, Devin, for getting me riled up with that story.
Oh, you're so
and I'm sorry
welcome.
that your annoying-ass neighbor keeps taking your shit. It's so annoying. Maybe he'll stop one day. Maybe he'll eventually move out. You should
I could
get
send
yourself a
send
ring
this to
camera.
him.
You should. That's what you should do actually. Get yourself
Just
a
send it
ring
over.
camera. Right. Get yourself a ring camera and be like, actually, man, I don't need your help anymore.
Sure.
I have this ring camera, sir. I don't have. I have this ring camera now. I don't need your help. I can see when they're
Literally.
there, and I can watch for people stealing it. So like, don't come over. Threaten him with like video footage of himself or something like that. You know.
I really
Subtly?
should.
You
'Cause
really
I've seen
should.
him do it so many times, and it's like, oh, I can't even take it.
It's infuriating. It's infuriating. God, I hope that situation gets better for you, Devin.
Thank you so much.
Of course. Thanks so much for calling. I appreciate it.
Of course. Have a good one.
You
Bye.
too. Bye. Oh man, I can't believe that we just talked for 15 minutes before this even started, and I didn't one time talk about my fucking annoying ass somebody stealing my packages from inside my own building. I know that that's what's happening. People think I'm paranoid about shit. I am not. This one I am not paranoid about, and I just know it. Like, I cannot believe how many things have been taken from me, and it's all Amazon stuff. So at first I was thinking like, oh, people are delivering Amazon packages, and or they'll take the picture of it being delivered, and the delivery people will take it. Like, I've even complained to Amazon about it. And then somebody took like another package of mine that wasn't Amazon, and I was like, no, 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 it's someone in this fucking building. I was close to at one point like getting so paranoid that I was gonna start going. We have like a side alley where we put our trash. We have to break down our boxes and stuff. I was gonna start going like into that alley when the boxes were all lined up and start looking to see if like my name was on any of the packages that I never received. Like, I was really, and I'm still almost at that point. Like, I'm not ruling that out. If this happens again, I think I'm gonna have to start searching for my own shit. Anyway, all right. Let's. That was a wonderful call from Devin. I'm happy that she called. Let's see what else I have in my little bag of tricks here. Lived next to brothers that were in their early 50s who would regularly fight and threaten to shoot each other. Okay? That's bizarre. First red flag, I think, is the early 50s brothers living together. What do you think about that, Gia? I think that's a little weird.
No. No.
It's weird, right? Like, I feel like I don't feel guilty saying that that's weird because it's weird.
Yeah, I feel like if, like, over a certain age, I don't think it's weird to live with a sibling, but if you are living with someone that is over the age of even like 40, I just think that's kind of strange.
It's just a little bizarre. Like, I understand, you know, people need roommates, people need this, people need that, but like, I don't know. I just can't imagine me being late 50s, my brother early 50s, and us sharing an apartment together. Like, that's just bizarre to me. I guess if you're like old as fuck, like say you're like little bitties, you're like 80 something years old or whatever. Oh, I'm looking this way. And you're like 80 something years old or whatever, and you just, you know, you can't get around without your sibling, you need somebody in there. Maybe that's an occasion to be like living with your sibling. But I think maybe don't live with them, especially if you're gonna threaten to shoot your sibling all the time. I just think you don't need to do that. All right, let's see. This person says, we have this couple across the street. Perfect. I'm going to read this, and then we're going to hit a quick break. First, I'm going to say this. We have this couple across the street. When they moved in, we'd see her in the backyard with a ring light. Odd for Indiana. Later, we were hanging out with other neighbors, and they invited us into their house. My wife went upstairs with her. And there are several naked photos of her on the walls. A little graphic. Parentheses, they are a blended family of 4 boys. After meeting them and getting their last names, I went into investigative mode and found her on TikTok, Insta, and finally Twitter. They were wannabe porn stars / sex swap Kona couple, kind of couple, I think it's a typo. They have an OnlyFans where she rates dudes' dicks for $15. Yeah, I wouldn't get on her for that. I feel like a lot of people have that. When we meet with other neighbors, everyone looks for me to provide an update on their recent posts. I may have built a PowerPoint. Okay. First things first, I'm gonna need that PowerPoint. However you're gonna get that to me, I will give you my email, DM me, I will give you my work email, and I'll have you send me that PowerPoint. I'm dying to see it. Number one. Number two, I think that it sounds like this couple, yes, maybe a little unorthodox, maybe a little strange for what you're used to if you're living in Indiana, whatever. They just sound like a kind of like a rock and roll kind of couple. They're just like chill. They're like, you know, maybe dabbling in OnlyFans and having some fun. And this girl's got naked pictures of herself up on the wall, and she's admiring her own body. Like, I don't know. What do you think, Gia? Do you think that these people are red flags or what?
I was gonna say, like, more power to them. if they're
It's
not
their own
doing-
house,
Yes,
right? Like they
exactly.
can whatever. Like I think normally maybe a few years ago I would have heard the story and been like, oh, les scandale. Like, oh my gosh, like what? She rates penises for $15 a pop. That's crazy. I think I'm less judgmental about that right now. I feel like that's
Yeah.
That's
no,
just a little
I
part of the
totally
course.
agree. And if like as long as they're not doing anything like outside of the house, like in
Yeah.
the backyard or anything like that, and it's not bothering you and you're not seeing anything,
totally.
that's more power to them. Get the coin.
Totally. Get that exactly. Get that coin. They did say there she was in the backyard with a ring light. I'm dying to see those
Oh,
videos. What do you
okay.
think? What do you think that? Well, it didn't say like he didn't say
Yeah,
it was
I feel
sexual.
like if she was doing stuff with the ring light, they'd be like, she was in the backyard with the ring light, like popping her pussy, you know?
Yeah. Right. That's what I'm saying. And I feel like right, exactly. They would have said like, hey, she was popping her
Yeah.
pussy with this ring light. She's I watched her make some of those amateur porns. Like then I'd be like, okay,
Yeah.
maybe although it is her backyard. I don't know. Get a higher fence. I don't know.
Plant some trees.
Yeah, plant some trees. Just there's a lot that can be done with this group. Maybe this couple should I don't know. See what's up. Test the waters yourself. See what's going on. Who knows? All right. Let's see. Oh yeah. No. Let's. I'm getting too involved in these people's stories. Let's hit a break real quick, and when we come back, we'll take more calls and watch more DMs. Host Kelly Keegs. We are deep in these DMs right now. I'm like curled up like it's gossip. You know what I mean? I'm like, ooh, going through my phone. Let's read. We just were reading one about these next door neighbors who were maybe involved in like some amateur porn stuff. The couple next door was a little confused about it. So we're moving on now to this person who says, over a 2-year period, the house across the street from me had an insane string of bad tenants. Hold on, let's see. The first set had parties featuring a guy giving amateur tattoos in the front room of the house for a discount. Sounds convenient. The second set of tenants put on masks and robbed another neighbor's house by brandishing BB guns. The third and final set of tenants murdered a stray cat. Okay. I would say the first set, not so bad. They just have they have parties all the time. Guys giving out tattoos. That, like I said, just sounds like fun and convenient. So whatever. As far as the tenants who put on the masks and and I see robbed and I read rubber. They're putting on the masks, they're robbing their neighbors, brandishing BB guns, and then the third who are murdering a stray cat. Gia, how would you rank these 3 couples worst to best?
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Because I'm confused. I don't know.
think I'm
I don't
gonna
know.
go
Between
murder
the
the
two.
stray
I think
cat
definitely
first.
the best on the bottom, totally fine, is probably the ones who like it's the amateur tattoos and the
Yeah.
party people. They're
Yeah,
fine.
agreed.
You know what I mean? They're no big deal.
I think I'm gonna go murdered stray cat first.
Okay.
And then robbing second,
Yep.
and then the tattoos last.
Yes, I think that's the only way to do it
Because they just said they they didn't kill anyone. Like killing a cat, I think is more messed up than robbing someone.
I agree. And I'll say this, I would switch them if the guns were real.
Yes.
But they were BB guns.
That's true.
Which are scary to see. Some of them look really real. But I think that
Yeah, you're taking it to another level if you're using a real gun.
yeah, that's a for real robbery. Like this is a robbery, but that turns it into like Kim K in Paris. You know what I mean? Like that's
Yes.
tough.
Yes.
Can't have that. Can't have that. Ooh, this one is fun. I like this one a lot. My landlord lives above me and blasts her erotic novels. I love people who listen to shit on audiobook. Like I love like the Audible app. Like everything about listening to something on audiobook is fantastic. I don't know if I've ever thought about listening to erotic novels on Audible before. I have listened to, and I'm a big proponent for this app. It's called Try Quinn, and it's run by a girl I've gotten to work with a little bit. She's fantastic. She has started this app company that they play, I'm trying to say it exactly right so I don't fuck it up. They play, it's like audio porn is how they describe it. Audio porn, so you listen to scenarios instead of like watching a porn where they have like the intro and it's it's like the pizza guy knocks on the door, the lady answers the door, and all of a sudden she's like giving him a blowjob. No girls are like wanting to watch that interaction happen. This has shit that's like it's like a divorced professor who wants to see you after class and you're in college and he's telling you like, oh no, you got to catch up on your work, but don't worry, I'll help you get there, but like, I'm in a bad spot. We can't do this. And then all of a sudden they're like, it's like make out sounds. It's honestly awesome. Like if you're a girl and you really like can't really get your head in the game when you're watching porn, if it's like a little too much, the audio porn is really helpful. And I have a feeling that these erotic novels are probably just the same. Like this lady's, your landlord's just sitting above you and like jerking off all day. It sounds like. I don't know. Gia, what do you think about that? Do you think this lady is she's just like masturbating all day to her erotic novels?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I feel like if you're playing it that loud,
right?
She is shameless.
Shameless, and you have to be masturbating. Like
Yeah.
like she's trying to cover up like another noise. Like
her own noises or something.
Exactly. Like if you're just doing the dishes, like I listen to Harry Potter Audible all the time. That's on.
It's quite the opposite.
Like, it's quite the opposite.
Yeah.
But it is all I am listening to all the time, and I'm not exaggerating about that. But I'll put it on in the shower when I'm doing the dishes, and I have to have it cranked up to hear over those things. Like I can't hear anything over the dishes, especially in like a British accent. So I crank it, but I know that nobody else can hear it. Like I don't have it that loud when I'm just like sitting on my couch. I barely have it turned up a little bit, and it just like plays on my coffee table while I'm right there.
I wonder if she lives in a small apartment building or something.
Maybe she blasts it like through the speakers and stuff.
Or
Like maybe
she
that's
like
why.
gets off to like other people, like knowing that they can hear it.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
What a freak!
Yeah.
Damn. I want more updates about this lady. I like that. All right, next one says, my neighbor smokes a ton of weed based off the smell and also somehow stays awake to play video games until 7 a.m. on the regular. Not sure how that's possible. I think that's how you smoke weed and play video games. I think the only way that you can smoke weed and play video games is if you stay up until 7 a.m. doing so. So I'm not actually surprised by this information. I know anytime I've ever smoked weed and played video games, I was also up until 7 a.m. I think that's just like how gamers do it. They smoke and play all night long. I'm not surprised. But that sucks. It sucks like, and again, I was saying earlier in the show how every once in a while I'll be that dickhead tenant who like will smoke weed inside. I mean, I'll open my windows. I'm not an animal, but I'll smoke weed on my couch. I'll have the window open and I have my little thing there. And I know it like smells up the hallway a little bit, and I can't stand that smell. If it's not me, I'll be like, ugh, I'll roll my eyes a little bit if it's weed smoke. If it's cigarette smoke, I want to call the police. I fucking hate when people smoke cigarettes inside because that shit lingers. Weed smoke at least goes away in like 30 minutes. Like it's gone, you can barely smell it. Maybe it's a little bit of like a stale smell, but it's really like not even an issue at all. And it's not so gross that you're like, this is disgusting. Cigarette smoke, and I smoke cigarettes every once in a while. Like I'm not acting like I don't like touch a cigarette. I will never smoke cigarettes inside. It makes all your shit smell. My next door neighbor again, I keep talking about the pandemic, I think just because like that's when I interact with my neighbors the most, I guess, or when I hated them the most. My next door neighbor would get lazy like in the wintertime and wouldn't go downstairs to smoke and would smoke out of his window. And the window he would smoke out of would come directly into my bedroom window. So I would just be trying to like enjoy a morning, like, oh, I'm waking up in the middle of this pandemic, trying not to fucking kill myself, and this guy is smoking cigarettes directly in my mouth at 8 a.m. Unbelievable. I
agree.
I got a big problem with my
Cigarette
neighbor.
smoke is the worst. And sometimes like I'll enjoy an occasional cigarette.
Of course.
Like if I've had a few glasses of wine.
Of course, if the
But
situation's
blowing,
right.
Yeah, if you're blowing cigarette smoke in my face, like no, get away.
Especially in the morning. Yeah. How insensitive. Like people who love to smoke cigarettes love a morning cigarette with their coffee.
Yes.
They love all that shit, whatever. To me, how I know that I'll never like be a smoker and I'm never that person is the smell of cigarettes at like that early in the morning. I will gag and I will throw up.
Yeah.
Like if I'm feeling a little queasy that morning, if I'm maybe a little hungover or something, and I smell a for real cigarette, I'm puking everywhere. That's it.
No,
like just don't.
And like it like lingers in like the back of your throat too. Yeah, it's just rough.
You feel
It's
like
rough.
you smell like it. Like if I walk past somebody smoking and it's early like that, I'll show up somewhere and be like, fuck, I smell like cigarette smoke because that asshole is smoking a cigarette at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
It's just ridiculous. All right, let's see. This one says, one time my neighbor called the cops on my brother because on Halloween he went to their house for candy and they said no to him, and he got mad and stole a 6-pack of Mountain Dew that was on their porch. This is insane. Now that I'm reading it through again, the neighbors called the cops because this kid took a 6-pack of Mountain Dew after you refused him candy. That he's just trying to get all hopped up on sugar. It's Halloween. He's probably already hopped up on sugar. Like he doesn't even know what the fuck is going on or what he's doing or anything. and he's pissed off that you didn't give him like a king-size Kit Kat, and he just wants a little more sugar. I don't think there's any reason to call the police on anybody for something like that. I think that's the perfect occasion, and a lot of people forget this. Like, you don't always have to call the police. Sometimes, not always, and not often, but sometimes, when it's a kid who's hopped up on Halloween candy, stealing a 6-pack of Mountain Dew from your house, this is your opportunity to act like a crazy person and run at them screaming down the street to scare them away. Like that is, there are so few opportunities that we get to just act like fucking lunatics all the time, and I think this is a perfect opportunity for you to be able to do that. So huge miss by these neighbors. They could have just been the crazy neighbors who were yelling in the street. Instead they call the cops, just the no fun police, literally and figuratively. That sucks. Ugh, that sucks. All right. We have plenty more when we come back from a break. Oof, I can't wait to keep reading these. All right, and welcome back to the final stretch of On the Other Line. Still doing DMs. I'm telling you, like, we'll never get through all the DMs we got. Like the amount of insane neighbor stories really just, you know, has me on the floor. I'm really excited about it. We're still getting them in. People know that we're doing the call-ins live right now. People are still sending DMs trying to get their stories in. Let's see, this one is, this is a quick one. In my old apartment, there was a Wi-Fi available that was called Not a Meth Lab, and we didn't think anything of it until I was outside a little creepy house next to my building at 1 p.m., and a man was sitting outside with a full gas mask and bulletproof vest on. There are just some fucking crazy people around, right? Like, what the fuck? Where do you even, like, acquire these things? I guess, like, I'm sure you could probably buy that shit on Amazon, but it's like, I don't even know. I don't even know how people live their lives like this. A new one we just got in was, I used to share a bedroom wall with my neighbor, and they would fuck at all hours, banging the headboard against the wall. So I would play hardcore porn really loud. After the third or fourth time, they stopped fucking at his house or moved his bed off of the wall. Apparently, they didn't appreciate my noise. That is a smart way to go about things. Like, never be the neighbor that's like leaving passive-aggressive notes on someone's door. Just be like equally obnoxious back based on like whatever they're doing. One time when I was having that issue with like my neighbors above and below being too loud, the upstairs ones had their music too loud, and so I put my music on as loud as it would go for like 30 full seconds, maybe like a full minute or something. And by the time I turned it down, they turned theirs down. Like I turned on my like big ass speaker. I had this like huge like Bang & Olufsen speaker that I got as a gift. It's like the nicest thing I own probably, and it goes so fucking loud. I've never like seen a speaker go this loud. I definitely shouldn't have it in like a New York City apartment. I barely use it, and I certainly don't ever turn it all the way up. But especially even on those days when I said I'm having my friends over and being crazy, I never would be that loud, but it sent a fucking message, so I was happy about that. Let's see, this one, this is a little bit of a long story, but I can tell it's juicy. We live in a condo complex with 4 condos per building. We had an upstairs neighbor who was absolutely nuts. Throughout the first 5 months of COVID, like March through September, the cops were here at least 15 plus times. He would yell racial slurs outside at the other neighbor's door, and would accuse them of breaking into his condo. He said he had it all on video, but whenever the police would show up, he never showed them this evidence. Sketchy and sounds like a lie. There is so much that happened, but he would throw rotten food out his window on the front lawn, onto the windows of the building, and he also broke all of our flower pots, fucked up, we had outside. One day he got mad that the downstairs neighbors were running their water all day, and he was sick of hearing them tapping on the walls, so he went down in the communal basement and ripped apart his storage unit and threw his stuff all around. The cops couldn't arrest him because of COVID. What? Like, that sounds crazy. So he just tormented us all until we finally had our property management company evict him. What? Gia, what is this information that the cops couldn't arrest him because of COVID? What do you mean? Like,
yeah, I don't.
Is that real? Is that something?
I honestly do think that was a thing.
Really?
Like, during COVID, I think that cops are being way more lenient with stuff. Like, they wouldn't easily arrest people.
Right.
I could totally be wrong, but I feel like I heard stuff about that during COVID.
That's so crazy. I mean, I know obviously crime was like, you know, through the fucking
jail
roof,
cells
but
and stuff.
yeah. Oh, true.
But I don't know how
didn't think
accurate
about that.
that is.
God, this place, man. What is this
Yeah.
world we're living in? I don't even
Right.
know. This person's crazy. Like that. And that's another thing. Like, how do you even deal with a person like this? This is the scenario where I'm like, don't fight fire with fire. You know what I mean? Like, don't be the crazy neighbor running down the street. This is not a child on Halloween trying to get some Mountain Dew. This is somebody who's clearly ill. Something's going on. He's throwing food out the window at people and breaking flower pots and whatever. I'll never understand the vandalizers or the people who like break flower pots and break flowers and stuff? Like, do you get so pissed at the precious blooms? Like, are you that angry? It makes me so upset. I get mad in the same way when people disrespect flowers and plants and like the grass and the lawn and like things like that, as people get when they disrespect like animals, like dogs and stuff. I'm like, how the fuck, like that plant did nothing to you. Why are you stomping all over it? It's
I was in
infuriating.
DC this weekend and I
Do you have pictures of the blossoms?
No, I wish, but
Gia.
they weren't blooming by the time
Well,
that I
so
got
they're probably
it was
done.
Like a week ago,
Yeah, they're probably all done. They bloom a little bit earlier in DC. Oh, but I thought you would have caught
was
the
sad.
end.
But,
Damn it.
We
Beautiful
were
though.
in Georgetown, and there was this really drunk kid, and he was just carrying a full-on tree that he pulled out from a pot. Like the tree had like the roundness
What
of
the
when it's
fuck?
like planted, and he was just carrying it down the street, and I was like, you're in college.
What
Like, I get it in high school, whatever. It's kind of funny, you're immature, but
Yeah.
grow up.
No, grow up. That's what it is. Grow up. Stop fucking around with trees when you're drunk.
Yeah.
And that's something that I needed to learn for myself also. When I was in college, I was also a little rude, but I never pulled up a whole tree. I would just like broke off a little branch and threw it on the ground in solidarity. I didn't, or like just in anger. I did not rip a tree from its roots
it's just
and carry it around
mean.
DC.
Yeah.
It's fucked
Like,
up.
you're just killing plants for no reason.
This world, Gia, I don't know how much longer I can deal with this world, Gia. It's so fucked up. These
I agree.
people, I swear to God. This one I love because it's got some drama. When I was younger, the movie Disturbia intrigued me. Ooh, same. So I started just watching out of my front window in the suburbs every now and then when I was watching TV, just to see if I had any neighborhood drama. I love this. I feel like we all did this when Disturbia came out. We started paying like extra close attention to our neighbors, just looking for some drama. Then I started seeing a woman who was not my neighbor go into my next door neighbor's house when the woman of the house wasn't home. Turns out the man was having an affair. He came into the place I worked at with his mistress, and that confirmed it for me. The couple split up less than a year later, and that's the tea. I mean, there it is. You got to see something real happening, some real drama with your neighbors. Like, I wish so badly. I wish I could live in the suburbs, but inside New York City. Like, I wish there was some kind of like suburby town inside of New York that I could live in so I could snoop around like this. Like, I would love to snoop on my neighbors and try to figure out what the fuck is going on in all their lives, but it's just too hard in New York. I miss this like aspect of the suburbs. We can just like break out binoculars if you want. Oh my God, my grandparents, they live on a lake and they have binoculars, and I know that they have them to like my Nana wants to look at birds, they want to look across the lake, whatever, it's fine. But I also know that they, specifically my Nana, love to snoop, love to pay attention to what everybody else is up to. And when I lived in a high-rise in New York, my grandparents gifted us some binoculars. And I was like, this is perfect. And I use that shit all the time. Now I don't have the proper windows for it, but damn, it's a lot of fun doing that. Let's see. This one is great. I had a neighbor's boyfriend try to escape the cops by jumping off of a second-story balcony that was surrounded by more cops, and a canine unit caught him and dragged him out by his thigh. I still have the doormat with his arterial blood spray on it. We love apartment life. Gia, I think like get a new doormat, right? Like you just,
yeah,
you
totally.
don't have to, that's a funny like, haha, there's still blood on my doormat, but it's like, get a new door. You can get it new. I think somebody else's arterial blood
That's
spattered.
disgusting.
It's disgusting. It's time. I know that it's outside, we're all stepping on it, dirt. There's a difference between like the dirt and the grime that's outside on the ground and human blood splattered all over your shit. You don't need that.
I don't know what is wrong with that person.
Yeah, you're not Dexter. What are you thinking? Let's see. This one says, oh, this is a friend of mine. This one says, I have some insane neighbor stories and videos. Crazy ass woman cussing at her boyfriend with her 9-year-old son right there. He grabs him a baseball bat. She's degrading him, literally screaming. Some hilarious parts I didn't get on video were like when she was screaming at him to not eat her fucking salt and pepper and not use her fucking lotion to jack off. Let's just leave it at that. Neighbors are a nightmare. God bless us all who have to deal with them. It's something that we all have to deal with. I'll see you guys next week. Happy Easter. Hope you had an amazing time with your family if that's what you were doing. Mwah, mwah, mwah.